Hey everybody, it's Monica with Mystic Maiden Oracle, bringing you your reading for the week of July 4th. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and let's see what Spirit has to say. Realizations and epiphanies. So makes super sense. That's what we're doing right now, is doing our reflecting and going within and trying to realize what's being brought to the surface for us to look at and take note of, and what lessons we have to learn, what cycles we have to break, what habits, what patterns, all the stuff that's no longer serving us. So let's see what else. A moment's regret. So nostalgia, idolizing the past, and fearing you've made a mistake. So that's come up before in a reading. So we're not supposed to do that, remember? We are just supposed to, can you wait just a minute, Charlie? Thank you. We're supposed to be not reflecting on things to feel guilty or shameful, or to beat ourselves up about it, or to beat anybody else up about anything either. Everything is supposed to be being reflected on to find the light in it, find the lesson in it, find the medicine in it, so that everybody involved can heal, especially you, because you're watching this for you, right? So idolizing the past too, if you're thinking about how things used to be, or thinking that maybe you can't be happy again, or you can't love again, or you can't trust again, or whatever it is, that is the regretting part. That's what you're not supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be believing that through the healing, you are opening up new possibilities for all kinds of abundance. And abundance isn't just money. Abundance is love and joy and happiness and experiences and memories and all kinds of things like that. So you may have made a mistake, but who cares? Everybody makes mistakes, and that's how you learn. The real thing to regret would be, thinking or never trying again, or being a prisoner of the past or something like that. So let's see what else. Oh yeah, Charlie wants in on it too. She's got messages. Oh, 7-2 just came up. We're in July. Just thought that was noteworthy. Far, far away. Creative daydreaming. That's come up a lot too. So that would be something that would be more productive to focus your thoughts on, would be, maybe how to make up for that mistake, how to regain somebody's trust, how to love yourself enough so that you can be ready to give and receive love from somebody else. Get creative on how you can heal, get creative on whatever you want. It doesn't always have to be a business goal or something like that. Life goals come in all shapes and sizes. So just tune into what that means for you. And don't forget to come back too, though, because sometimes we can get a little too far away. And that's not to say that things are impossible or can't ever happen. But when we get caught up in our daydreams, some of us forget the steps in the middle, and we just see the end goal, and that's what we want, and we want it now. So remembering that depending on how far you go is all the space that's in between to get there. And it doesn't matter how big or small it is. It's just sorry, it's just you don't want your expectations to get out of whack. You want to stay balanced. You want to remember that there are many parts to the process, whatever that process is. Or maybe there isn't a lot of parts to the process. Just don't lose perspective while you're daydreaming. King of Pentacles. Oh, I like this one. Look at that. So this, I'm getting, the wisdom of your experiences. I know there's a man in here, but man, male or female, everything that you have witnessed and experienced has gotten you to where you are. And so that's why there shouldn't be any regret in it, because and look, these cards have the same kind of color scheme to them. So I'm just gonna put them together. So yeah, lessons learned, sitting and reflecting on it, the wisdom, there's even in his trusty sidekick, his animal, his spirit animal, and he's not unhappy. He's actually like super smiling with teeth, not just like a little smirk, So everything is coming full circle is what I'm getting out of that too, right there. And all the support too, that's what I'm taking out of the 5 points of that pentacle, is all the signs, all the elements, karma, even, all of that, everything's coming together, and you're going to be able to shine like that star too, with all of the things that you learned, all of the growth that you've had. It hasn't been for nothing, is what I'm hearing. So everything that you've gone through, you're growing and realizing things, and maybe coming to new conclusions or something like that. So I wasn't gonna, but I'm gonna draw a spirit animal or an archangel animal card now, because of his animal there. I want to see what animal is gonna come out for you to support you in releasing your fears around whatever it is that you're regretting, or fearing you've made a mistake, whatever it is in the past that might be kind of hanging you up on allowing yourself to daydream. The hyena, daring to be different. So yeah, if you are afraid of changing, maybe changing period, or even being who you are, actually that should probably come first. But I heard change, because I'm getting like change back to who you are, to who you really are, which would be your authentic self, which is maybe not going to look like everybody else, which is fucking awesome. So do that. I think there's something catchy. I saw it on a mug or somewhere, that about being different, and why would you be anything else if you could be? So it would be better if I could remember that, but I can't under pressure. Also, Archangel Jofiel's on here, so pray to her to beautify your thoughts, to clear your energy space, your emotional space, to make room for new feelings, new thoughts, your creative daydreams to come in, and be able to laugh at yourself too. Everybody does make mistakes. Again, nobody's perfect. Everybody does silly things, goofy things, dumb things. Like nobody is, hitting a home run every time. Everybody has areas to grow, to learn. And if you can't laugh at yourself, it's really going to suck when somebody else does, and somebody will. So better to just like be in on the joke and know about it than to be the joke, Yeah. Hilarion. That's funny because I was just talking about laughing like at yourself, and it sounds like hilarious. See, I'm being a dork right now and laughing at me all by myself here. So you can do it too. Divine healing. Honor your sensitivity, retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. So just by being who you are can be very healing for other people, because when you are yourself, you allow the people around you to be themselves too, because you're being vulnerable by putting yourself out there. And so they know that they can too, because you're not going to judge them or make fun of them, to be hurtful or put them down or try and take from them. It's just you showing up, being you, and being enjoyed for who you are, and being able to enjoy others for who they are, because there's no secrets, there's no facades, no masks. Everybody just is. And so that's a lot of green heart chakra healing too. So with all of this realization, that's going to help the healing and letting go of your fears of your mistakes, because you're going to be able to see that everybody makes mistakes. When you let down this, again, the facade that you are perfect or getting close to it or whatever, you're allowed to see the flaws in others too, and not in a way to judge or put them down, but Spirit says in a way to see how much alike you are, or to relate. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses. That's why we have to work together, and we can learn from each other. We don't have to not know something forever. Hence the realizations and epiphanies. Life would be boring if we had nothing to learn, I think. And your feelings too. So more, we're talking about learning. Looking back at this too, is it's important to balance your heart chakra, your emotions, and honor those feelings, whatever they are. So honor the fear, honor the anger, honor the grief, honor the sadness, honor the rage, whatever it is. Honor it, because those feelings helped you to get where you are now too, also. And they are going to come up again to get you to the next phase. And understanding if you're going to be supporting others, being empathetic to them and their emotions, being able to tell them, yes, I really do know how you feel, is really powerful. Not that I'm sorry you feel that way isn't, but there's just something even more healing about sharing a feeling. And so it doesn't have to be, all the ones I listed either, because on the other side of all those feelings is, again, joy, happiness, peace, love, ecstasy, whatever, all the good stuff, basically. So, so that all those things, all those paths intertwine. It's one's on the road to the other. So, and I would look him up to see more about what his spiritual significance is. But let's not forget my dorky moment about Hilarion and connecting with the hyena and daring to be different. So daring to be yourself. Okay, next, let's see. Be willing to forgive. Ooh, perfect. Ask the angels to clear your mind and body of past pain in exchange for peacefulness. We just talked about peace, and we just talked about letting go of things, and being willing to forgive yourself is a really, really big thing here. Because a lot of times we feel like the forgiveness is for other people and from other people, and that could very well be so. That's part of it. But there's always a forgiveness, no matter what side you're on, that has to happen inwardly. So that needs to be something. Willingness almost seems to be at the beginning of everything. You have to be willing to love. You have to be willing to receive. Be willing to forgive. You have to be willing to learn. You got to be willing to work. You have to be willing to do something to get something. And so in this situation, it looks like Spirit is strongly suggesting that you be willing to forgive whom or whatever involved, um, so that you can do your divine healing, have your realizations, and realize who needs the forgiveness on what what grounds, and maybe um, who you would like to forgive you for something. And where was this creative daydreaming? How can you get creative and come up with a really sincere apology? It doesn't have to be extravagant, but know your audience. What would actually get to that person? What would really not just speak to their mind, but you're trying to do soul healing here on a really deep level. So what would touch them at their core, deeper than even their heart? Or same thing too, what would somebody have to do for you to get you to forgive them? Which also, side note, Spirit's saying you should forgive him anyway. It shouldn't be about a thing, but sometimes all we want is an apology or an acknowledgement. And so what would that look like? What would that feel like if it happened? And then act as if it already did and release it so that you don't carry that burden anymore. Yeah, so many cards fell out. Well, that's too many. That's like a whole nother conversation if I pull all that. So we'll just try and get one. Persistence. Ooh. So, I don't know who he is, but he looks cool. I'm getting more sun energy. Oh, there's another crown in there, so I'm gonna go with 2 kings. He's definitely somebody important. So this card, I get a lot of energy from like the lower chakras, dealing with stability and trust and house stuff, like home, immediate relationships with family. What else there? An inner knowing, using your intuition for guidance and reflecting. So the realizations and epiphanies, that going together, not reflecting for regret, like the a moment's regret card said, but on a lighter level, on a healing level, using that knowledge and that wisdom to do your forgiveness, to do your healing. What else is coming through about that one? Spirit was like talking over itself. Too many people were talking at once. I couldn't pick through the voices. So persistence, I'm trying to get more of a message on that. Maybe it's, I guess depending on what side of I'm hearing conflict you're on, or whatever, maybe somebody is being persistent with you and maybe you don't like it, or maybe that's what you want. I don't know. I'm kind of having a hard time reading the persistence thing. Or maybe it's you need to be persistent. Maybe it's Spirit being persistent, trying to get you to forgive, or trying to get you to realize something here, to let go of your fears, to daydream more, to be different, and to, maybe that's what it is, to, in being different, push your support of others. Maybe you're trying to start a movement or something, really powerful that could be life-changing for yourself and maybe other people too. Maybe you keep being shut down, so maybe you just need to keep trying. That message already came through actually with I think it was this card. We keep going back to this card, that's what you should if anything were to be regrettable, it would be not continuing to try. So um, everybody makes mistakes. We should always keep trying to be better people, no matter what we've done, how great or how small our mistakes. There's always room for improvement, Spirit is saying. So I hope that reading resonated with you. If not, maybe next time. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.